So, are you one of those people that have actually kind of lost faith in Black Panther because of the direction of Ta-Nehisi Coates? Well, this book probably will be a slight improvement. While it's recommended by the major players, read it on your own. This book is written by long-standing writer Ralph Macchio. No, not the Karate Kid, not Daniel's son. He's been a long-time writer for Marvel since the Shooter days. And this book is actually quite excellent. This is tying into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As you see, the cover much different than the old standard of the Ta-Nehisi books, where he seems to have a standing in front of a building fetish. If you don't believe me, go ahead and look on Twitter. Look at the cover for the last 3 books that he's done. It's the same pose every time. A much different pose from DeVito. So, let's get into it. This is The Sound and the Fury. And it's got 2 books with it. The Sound and the Fury, #1. And there's a side story there at the back of the way it began. It's from Fantastic Four, number 53, with Stan and Jack. However, let's begin. We have T'Challa addressing people here in this audience as we bring in the entire scene of the Wakandan embassy in Dubai. This establishes that, yes, T'Challa has to pose as 2 different people. The King of Wakanda himself and the Black Panther. As we get into the book, he is explaining the properties of vibranium, the fictional metal, that he has said that he is able to track in on the frequency of any stolen fragments. However, as he is explaining everything, you get a nice big earthquake. Well, could have said it better myself there. Now, anyone wondering what is the big deal of an earthquake in Dubai, right? Well, Dubai is a new metropolis. Lots of new skyscrapers, probably not as structurally sound as they like, in the middle of a sandbox, literally. And there's the hope. And how this mess gets started, you get the idea. An old villain who does tie into the movie as well, Ulysses Claw. The side book will explain all on how Ulysses Claw began, actually. Now, The Sound and the Fury does feature some of the epic battles from the movie. It doesn't have quite the shape-shifting suit, but CGI, that's an improvement. Ralph does a pretty good job with this entire book, actually. He's, gets it down to the meat of the story, kind of ties in with the origin story of Fantastic Four number 53. This is a whole lot better than what Ta-Nehisi Coates has been pumping out. I'm not deriding Ta-Nehisi for anything. He's just not an interesting writer. Books, he's fair to decent. Comic books completely fails, but it seems that Marvel wants to make sure he falls upward. That's not a good direction for someone like him that needs to learn that, hey, sometimes your work is not good. Anyhow, this book is an excellent read. You should pick it up. I believe $3.99. a very good read. This is a mini-series that will tie into the movies if you want to keep up. Definitely give it a read. This one is another short one, but I'm going to try to keep them short and to the point to not give away as much story, but just know there is an epic confrontation with Claw, because there has to be. Just a few kinks in the way while he goes after Claw. A few interesting kinks that show that T'Challa is a pretty good humanitarian as well, not to mention the people he has to face on the way to Claw. But a good book all around by Macchio. DeVito has excellent art, as you see right here. Now, the important part, hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And just have an all-around good time with this video. I've got links there if you want to support. But, all in all, I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. Everyone, have a good one.